How do you finally stop caring what other people think? Let's talk about that. Why are we still trying to fit in? Why are we worried about fitting in? Why are we so worried about what somebody else thinks about us, what another man thinks about us? Why are we still worried about that? Why is that the reason we're not living how we want to live? Why is that the reason we're not being true to ourselves and creating the life that we really want? Why are we so worried about trying to fit in still in our 20s? Why are we worried about trying to fit in still in our 30s? The fact is, most people, most men right now, are living a silent life of misery. They don't feel respected. They're not happy. They're not satisfied. Financially struggling. Romantically struggling. Physically struggling. Right? So if you think about, that's the average man right now. That's the average guy. Why are you trying to fit in? Why are you trying to be like everyone else? Why does it even matter? Why isn't it more important that you live in accordance with what it is that you want, who it is that you want to be? Underneath caring what other people think about you is you not caring enough about what you think about you. Underneath being so concerned with trying to fit in is you not really knowing who you are. You not really knowing who you are and loving who you are. Realizing that who you are right now is enough. Realizing that who you are right now is more than enough. Realizing that the things that you really want in life, the vision that you have, the life that you see yourself living, you can do it, but you can't do it by trying to fit in with everybody. We have to get to a place where what we think about ourselves, our opinion of ourselves, matters more than the opinions of other people. We have to get to a place where it doesn't really matter what other people think about us because we are good with ourselves. We like ourselves enough that we don't need anybody else to like us. But the thing is, when inside you're empty, there's a lack of self-love, there's a lack of knowing who you are, then you need other people to tell you who you are. You need other people to tell you you're enough. Tell you you're enough by their validation, by their recognition. So we have to get to a place where we don't need it. The thing is, when we don't know who we are, when we haven't cultivated that strong sense of identity, when we haven't really gotten clear on our vision, then other people, we just let other people tell us who we are. We let other people define us, right? As we grow up, we're always picking up labels. We're picking up stories, right? People are telling us who we are. They're telling us who we're not, and we believe them. And sometimes we never take a step back and look at, no, who am I really? Someone told me I wasn't good at math when I was 7 or 8, and I just believed it. And then I just lived out the rest of my life not being good at math because somebody said it. You care so much about what other people think because we haven't decided who we are, and we haven't cultivated a strong enough self-image about who we are and what we are, that we don't need to worry about what anyone else thinks. The reason we do this is because we don't love ourselves. We're not taught, some of us, right? I can't speak for all of you, but some of us are not taught that we're enough as we are. A lot of us were taught that we're not enough. And it starts very, very early on. A lot of us are taught that something about us inherently isn't enough. And so we go our whole lives trying to be enough, right? Trying to be enough, trying to be valid. We live our whole lives trying to accumulate things, trying to become things so that other people will like it, so that other people will say it's cool, so that other people will maybe tell us that we're enough. And it's never enough if we live like that. Why are we still trying to fit in? Why are we still trying to be cool in the eyes of other people? Why are we still wanting the approval of other people? We have to care more about our opinion of ourselves, bro. That's what we have to do. Maybe you had a similar experience as me where you didn't necessarily feel like you fit in really anywhere growing up, right? See, I had a white mom and a black dad. I was homeschooled, went to private church school, went to public school, right? All these different environments, just trying to figure out who I am, right? Oh, I'm not quite black enough in this space. Or, oh, my blackness is a problem in this space, right? Am I white? Am I this? Am I that? Right? I can say these words here. I can't say these words there. Just constantly trying to figure out who I am, constantly trying to fit in. And this is what happens. This is what happens with most of us. And a lot of us don't have someone helping us create that self-image, helping us identify our belief systems and really cultivate a strong sense of who we are. And so what happens is we start to see ourselves through the eyes of the world, through the eyes of other people. But the only problem with that is other people see themselves in us from their perspective, right? They see out in the world, they see life is a mirror, right? Life is a mirror, it's not a window. So other people can only see you as good as they can see themselves. So whatever they don't like about themselves, they'll project that onto you. And then what we do when we're young is we take that on and we make it a part of who we are. And we form a lie identity instead of an identity. A lie identity where we believe all of these things about us that aren't true. A lie identity that we're not enough. That we're not enough. And so how do you fix this? Well, you have to start seeing yourself through God's eyes. You have to start seeing yourself as perfectly made and enough. And that doesn't mean we don't have weaknesses, bro. That doesn't mean that we don't have shortcomings. But what that means is those things don't define us. Other people's labels and opinions don't define us. The approval of other people isn't something that we need because it doesn't define us, right? It doesn't matter. But the approval of God is what matters. Right? That we start to see ourselves through God's eyes, and that's what matters. When we start to really peel back the layers of who we are and what we are at the core and start to fall in love with that, that's what matters. We have to understand that in the Bible, whether you're religious or not, the Bible is not a religious book. But the first time that God spoke to man in the Bible, he said, be fruitful and multiply, prosper. So that means if we're going to be fruitful, if we're going to be like fruit and multiply, that means we've got a seed inside of us. A seed that is meant to multiply, a seed that is meant to serve life. We already have that programmed. Right? Nobody is missing the spiritual DNA required to be as successful as they want to be as happy and joy-filled as they want to be. No one got shorted anything. Nothing in nature has been shorted of what it needs to carry out its purpose of being fruitful and multiplying. So if the first time that God speaks to man, he says, be fruitful and multiply, right? That means that you have a seed inside of you that is meant to do something great, that's meant to add value to another man's life, that's meant to add value to your family, that's meant to add value to your environment, that's meant to make the world a better place. You have that inside of you already. So if you were to see yourself through God's eyes, you'd recognize that you are enough already, that you have enough already, that you're blessed to be successful already. And now it's just a matter of seeing yourself properly. Now it's just a matter of you caring enough what you think and living that out. So with that seed of purpose that's within you, right? You have to understand that you don't need to fit in with anybody because that's your seed. That's your vision. That's your purpose. That's your unique gift, and nobody else needs to understand it. In fact, they can't understand it. They can't. They're not meant to. They're not meant to. So what this really means is you're not meant to fit in. You are meant to take what's in you, your seed, your gift, your skills. You're meant to hone them. You're meant to cultivate them. And you're meant to spread them. Spread them in the world, right? Like what I'm doing right here with social media, right? I believe I have a gift of helping other people love themselves more, helping other people see themselves in a better light, helping other people recognize that they are enough and that they can be who they're called to be and that they can walk in their purpose and that they don't have to care what other people think and they don't have to believe in all of these labels that have been given them, right? Like I was given the label of anxiety. I was given the label of depression. I was given the label of not black enough. I was given the label of so many labels, bro, and none of them are really me. That's how other people might see me, but that's not even real, right? And so once I've gotten clear on who I really am, my gifts and my skills, then I start to share those, right? Then I start to level up in those areas. And then I'm able to make a living for myself. And as I make a living for myself, I'm being a blessing to others. And I'm helping others start to cultivate and share their gifts. And isn't that what we're here to do? What if that's what we were here to do? It's my opinion that we all have something inside of us. We all have something that's unique about us, that's special about us, that's meant to make the world a better place. Some of us do that in major ways that are really, really visible, right? And some of us just do that in our own unique way, in our immediate surroundings. And one isn't more important than the other. One isn't better than the other. And to be honest, it's not even for us to even judge or decide that. But what we do need to do is we need to figure out who we are, and we need to make that the thing that we care about in terms of what are my gifts? What's my purpose? What's the vision that God has given me? Right? What am I being guided towards? What am I being called to? How have the unique experiences that I've lived in this life shaped me? What insights have they given me that I can use to help somebody else? What pain have I lived through that I could use to make somebody else's life better, that I could use to support somebody else? Right? When you really take a step back and recognize whatever you release into the world, whatever you give into the world is what you get back, you recognize that we're here to make the world a better place. So when you recognize, wow, God created me to be fruitful and multiply. God created me to be creative. God created me in His image. God already said that I'm enough. God already said that I'm blessed. And God gave me specific instructions the first time He ever spoke to man, first time He ever spoke to me and said, hey, be fruitful and multiply. So that means I already know that I have something inside of me. And that's what I need to concern myself with. That's what I need to care about. We don't need to be worried about what other people think. We don't need to be worried about trying to fit in. Why do we want to fit in with people who aren't living their purpose? Why do we want to fit in with people who aren't happy? Right? Why do we want to fit in with people who are so concerned with short-term fulfillment, instant gratification? Right? Just look at the current state of how most people are. Just do some people watching next time you're out. Right? Look at the data, look at the statistics if you're in America, right? Because I'm in America, that's where I live. And just look at the average state of most men. Right? Or wherever you are in the world, just look around you and just ask yourself, is this what I want? Do I want the same results as everybody else? Or am I meant for something more? And chances are you are. We're all meant for something more, but not all of us, right? Look for that. Not all of us really answer that call. Not all of us are really willing to go inside and answer that question. Am I meant for more? The answer is always yes. but then not all of us answers it. So I hope when you watch this video, bro, you recognize that it's okay not to fit in, that you recognize you're meant to stand out, that you recognize that even if you can't see something in you right now, something is in you that's meant to be fruitful. But you can't see it when you're worried about what other people think. You can't see it when you're still concerned with trying to fit in. But it starts to make itself known to you when you start to care about what you think about yourself, when you start to care about what God thinks about you, when you start to get into those spiritual teachings. That's when everything begins to shift. So I hope this helps you, bro. My name is Sid Scott. Thank you for watching another video. Consider subscribing if you found this useful. See you in the next one.